Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and things are heating up here in the UK from ridiculously cold to now getting in, I think, the 20s, like 24 degrees Celsius, something like that, and another hot week to come. So hence the hoodie has been left behind for tonight, and it might even get to the point of needing to get the little cooler thing that I bought before that hasn't been out for a very long time. But anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream. Who do we have in there? We have Charlie, Bella, Pam K36, Alison. Oh, Pam K36 says haircut question mark. Yes, I had my haircut yesterday, and my hair is actually looking, let's get the hair chat out the way early doors. My hair is looking shorter than it actually is, because if I turn my head off to the side, you can see what's going on here. It's defeating gravity. So there's what, about an inch of hair. This should be down here, but it's curling up and away, and I'm just blaming the warm temperatures for that. I don't know what happens with my hair in warm temperatures. It just seems to curl even more. So there you go. My hair looks shorter than it is because it's just defying, my fringe is defying gravity. But this is just something that happens no matter what I do with it. What side is it? That side? No matter what I do, if it is straight down like that, let go, straight back up to where it was. So anyway, that's the hair chat out of the way. Now let's get back into the live chat room because, yes, we have Barbara in there, Ro, Robert, Debbie, Lucy, Pamela, Bob, Paul, Bernadine, Ginny, Wolfla, PN112, Bonnie, Robert again, Bev, Tammy, Linda, Julesy. Hello, everybody. Good to see you on this Saturday night. I hope that you've had a good start to your weekend. And it's going to be a bit of a busy week next week. I say next week, it's just in a couple of days now that I'm actually going to be seeing The Warning in London. And I believe they're already in the UK doing their first show tonight, which might be Plymouth, but I'm not sure. But I will be there on Monday. Actually, Monday afternoon and Monday evening because there's a few things going on. But looking forward to that. And the other thing that we've had recently, well, the set of videos that we've had recently are the videos I've released with Maurice Hayes. The interview that we did go on for quite a long time, so it means that I released part 3 last night, and there's going to be a part 4 released at some point. I'm not sure when that will be, probably next week sometime, once Monday's over and done with. And then I kind of reorganize myself because normally Monday's an admin day for me when I get through all of my emails and messages, so I'll have to do that at another point next week. But on Sunday, so that's tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the video that has been much requested, understandably, on Tina Turner. So we'll jump into that tomorrow. And yeah, Tuesday, of course, we're going to be live streaming. That's what happens always on a Tuesday and a Saturday, as you can tell, because it is a Saturday night. We are live streaming, and it's 9 minutes past 11 here in the UK, and that's when we live stream, not at 9 minutes past 11, but at 11 p.m, or as close as we can get it, considering all the things that I'm setting up and getting all of the cue, not cards, but cue squares that I have to click on. For example, getting the names of my patrons up on screen, which I have just clicked on there to say a massive thank you to the people who go across the bottom of the screen, making this all possible in the first place. Not only the live streams, but the analysis videos and the cover videos and the interview videos, all that kind of stuff. So now you can see on the screen that it is 10 minutes past 11. It's a little bit small on my screen, but hopefully you guys can see that. I can see it if I look over here. 11:09 and 53 seconds, I think that says. This is the problem with the live stream sometimes. Oh no, that's actually a delayed feed. It is 10 minutes past 11 and 24, 5, 6, 7. So that's the feed that is up to date. This is the problem, that I have different screens, and some screens are in the past and some are actually now. So as long as I just talk now, everything should be fine. Anyway, yes, hello to all of you coming into that live chat room. If you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated, because what we do is always aim for a particular goal with the likeometer, and tonight's goal is set at 325. So we'll see where we are at the moment, and this is something that always happens when we go live. The likeometer likes to move around a little bit. It's actually the screen capture that moves, so I can move that over there and see that we have 152 likes so far. Maybe we can get a bit of a spike of the likes going on, because it means that we're almost halfway there. That'll be, what would that be, 162.5? I don't know if that's right. But anyway, it seems like in my mind, it's going to be quite close. What's half 325? Half of 32 is 16. And then Yeah, 2.5. I might have actually got it right without really thinking too much about it, which is probably the best way to go about it with my history and ability for maths. Anyway, we will maybe have the Phil Jam tonight, because I think it's going to be Phil Jam number 10 rather than number 9. So what I'm going to do is scroll down here and try and find where this is in order to edit it. Right, I found it. 325, and that is correct, but it's Phil Jam number 10. There we go. So that should have just updated on the screen. Hopefully it has. So we will have a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream. If we reach that target of 325 likes, we open up the live stream with my song called Hero, and that's from my album called Persistence. You can head over to wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to check out my original music, the album called Persistence. There's also a list and a playlist actually of the cover videos that I've done here on YouTube. Somebody was asking about that earlier today on YouTube, so I did reply, as I always like to do. But yeah, if there are a few covers that you want to see me perform, well, actually, this is the thing about the live streams, is that I ask everybody over on Patreon what they want to see, and that's how we end up with the votes for tonight, because I've done over 30 covers, and from those, people pick their favourites, and then we have a vote for it on the live streams. And it looks like tonight we have The Boys Are Back in Town and Give Me All Your Lovin'. So, I mean, a couple of classics there. Give Me All Your Lovin' has 51% of the vote so far, so it's going to be a close one, potentially. Have your vote. It's just gone up to 52%. So, yeah, have your say in the live chat room. It's at the top of the live chat room for that particular vote. But it looks like, yeah, a bit of ZZ Top might be coming on a little bit later, but who knows? It's still early in the evening. So, I mean, what we might try and do tonight is what we did last time, which is just shoehorn in somewhere a riff of the week, because I spent a little bit more time actually planning and getting everything organised that I need to have the riff of the week for tonight. And thank you to Laura, who has sent me over the updated list, which I haven't looked at yet, but I will load it up whenever we get to that particular point in the live stream. So, now, let me mention about donations, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to donate, as I always say. Just tuning in is great. Maybe hitting the thumbs up, introducing yourself into the live chat room so that we'll get to know each other and know each other's usernames. Let me give a quick shout out to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, you can join in with that page and hang out with a lot of the community, the people that just get involved in the live streams, and sometimes we see them on screen if they have any pictures that they upload to that group, and then Laura sends them my way and I can show them on the live stream. We do have a couple of pictures tonight, one of which is going to be from a Zoom call, I believe, and this is something that sometimes happens over on that supporters group page. So if you want to get involved chatting with people, then you can do over there, and that's Bob that hosts the after party after the live streams. So as soon as we finish here, Bob then hosts that over on the supporters group page, so check that out if you want to. And we will be looking at that picture a little bit later on in Picture Corner. Let me also just clarify what I was saying at the beginning of the last live stream, which I think made a lot of people confused about what I was saying, and to be fair, I wasn't explaining it very well. But there was somebody who watches the channel and works at a shop here in the UK, and my sister's mother-in-law was the connection. But I think I said my sister-in-law, or I said something that confused a lot of people. So anyway, it was my sister's mother-in-law. It was called Tansy. That was the connection. And it was, yeah, James Law. And I remember his name because that was the name of our first bassist, as I mentioned in the last live stream. But just to clarify all of that stuff, because, yeah, I'm not married. I haven't got a mother-in-law or father-in-law or a sister-in-law or all that kind of thing, or any stepsisters or stepbrothers, whatever I was getting confused with. There we go. Hopefully that has explained it and get that out of the way at the beginning of this live stream. I say at the beginning, it's 17 minutes past 11, so time always seems to run away with us in these live streams. But let's get back into the whole donations thing, because let me put the donations tab up on screen. Like I said, you don't have to donate, but for those people that can't resist, the donations tab is up on screen now, so that you know that between 35 and 45% of the donations go to YouTube through the super chat window and through the PayPal link, which is in the description below. PayPal takes between 3 and 5%. So just in case you can't resist, I think it's important that you know the percentage splits and where your money goes. So there's, I think, all of the admin done for the live stream. And just to say a thank you to Orlando for that $2 donation. And Orlando said, like number 46, hit that like button. So great idea, Orlando. If you guys can hit that thumbs up, that'd be great. Let's give a plug of the mug while we're talking about hitting the thumbs up, and there we have it. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then click on the tray underneath this video, click on any piece of merchandise that you want. It'll take you through to the spring.com store. If you don't have a tray underneath this video, there's a link in the description below that you can click on, and that will take you through to the spring.com store. There. So, I can see that Christine says, how was Mom's birthday? So, it was, I think, relatively normal and straightforward. We tend to default to getting Chinese for birthdays, and when nothing particularly big has been planned, then yeah, we tend to just have a Chinese, which we had, which was good. And the good thing about the Chinese is it always lasts for at least a couple of days because of the size of the portions. But yeah, it was all good. And my mum didn't have a cookie cake. Something that, yeah, is just something that I enjoy. I think my dad enjoys it as well because he put in the order for a cookie cake for his birthday. But I think he just tends to just copy everything that I do for some reason. So there we go. I think most likely he had a bit of my cookie cake on my birthday and realised, oh, that's quite nice. I want one of these, or a whole one to myself for my own birthday. But my mum just had a small cake because she's going on, well, through a diet kind of period. I think this is something that my parents always seem to be doing, is going through their period of going on a diet to try and lose weight. And unfortunately, I mean, having the sports science background and the nutrition background that I do as well, I try to explain to them that if you go on a diet and you starve yourself, once you finish your diet and you're down to the weight that you want to get to, once you start eating normally again, your body's now going to store more calories than it would do normally because you haven't been eating as much. So it goes into a starvation mode. It thinks that, okay, I better hang on to all of these calories and all of these carbs and then all of the fats as well, because in the future we might go through what we just went through, which was like a starvation period of like 3 weeks or whatever. So therefore, yeah, you start, even though you go back to eating normally, but even eating more carefully, your body's now storing more calories. So I think this is why it's that they have this constant cycle, and I do try to explain it, but it is just something that they're just set in these cycles of constantly going on diets and then putting back the weight that they've lost and then going on another diet, putting on the weight that they lost. And it's just this kind of yo-yo thing the whole time. Whereas, yeah, I think it's a lot better just to try and eat normally. I mean, the evidence is in bodybuilders and endurance athletes. They're eating thousands and thousands and thousands of calories a day, like anything between 6,000 and 10,000 calories a day. And especially with marathon runners, when they carb load, you're taking on insane amounts of calories. And who has ever seen an obese marathon runner. That's not the way it works. You can eat that many calories because you're eating for the energy, because then you go and expend that energy through exercise and running. And once you're eating that amount of calories and you're burning it off, you're using the glucose that's being stored, and obviously carbohydrates, it's not obvious, but carbohydrates, if you don't use them, they then get stored as fat. So carbohydrates then get converted into glucose, so then you can exercise, and you're therefore burning off the calories that you're eating. When you're eating lots of stuff that's high in fat, the only time you burn fat is when you do low intensity exercise. It means like walking around a lot. It means if you do loads and loads and loads of walking, then you'll be burning fat. But if you're eating carbs, that carbohydrate that you're eating, especially if it's complex carbohydrates, if you're not burning that off, it means that it's going to get stored as fat. It gets converted to fat and stored somewhere on your body. So anyway, it just means that if you get your body used to burning calories and taking on calories, then you've got like an even equation. So the body doesn't really go into starvation mode because it knows food's coming up, because it knows that it needs it for the exercise that it's about to do. So this is why, you'll get obviously bodybuilders have to eat that insane amount of calories just to feed the muscle, because muscles are very hungry. And I think this is probably the reason that I get away with it is, I haven't exercised in like any way in over a year and a half, but I've still got a little bit of muscle mass that it has remained just from working out for years and years and years. So it means that any extra muscle mass that you have, they're eating calories. Like my arms are eating calories as I speak. Like I don't, and when I say that, as you can see, you can see that there's still muscles here, and they eat calories. That's just what they do. So if you start exercising, you'll find that your metabolism increases, because just in order to just rest and for your body to just maintain itself, it now needs more calories because you've got muscles that require calories that weren't there before. So I think that's why I get away with it, that I don't have any special diet, and especially since stopping exercise, I'm still eating. I had 2 cookie cakes for my birthday, for example. I'm still burning more calories than I would be if I hadn't done that exercise years ago, like over a year and a half ago. So top tip, if you're constantly trying to lose weight and then you put it back on again, that's why. It's because your body goes into starvation mode and doesn't know that you're not going to starve again. It's starting to store more calories than, like, I can eat the same calories as my mum and dad and they will put on weight and I won't. Firstly, because their bodies are in starvation mode, and secondly, because I've still got muscle mass left over that's eating the calories for me. So I think anybody who actually starts exercising regularly and seriously will become amazed as to how their body changes. They could even be eating the same amount of food every day. Unless you are just really going for it in terms of like kind of 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. But if you start exercising, obviously you're starting to burn calories, and exercise makes you put on muscle, and you won't put on muscle mass like huge muscles. It'll just tone up the muscle, which will increase the amount of calories you burn every day. Anyway, let's get away from nutrition, because we do talk about lots of things, but nutrition is something that comes up quite a lot. And Charlie says, yes, Phil's arms look a little smaller now. So thank you for that. They are a lot smaller than they used to be. I've literally been resting for a year and 6 months. When I say resting, my right arm, I've been actually avoiding lifting any weight. So that's why I am surprised that it's not just like a stick, that there still is. Like when I move my arm up and down, I can still see a muscle moving, which shouldn't really be there considering I've not been doing anything. I've literally been avoiding lifting any weight with my right arm because of the tendon and resting it. So I'm looking forward to getting back into exercising, but it's just something that at the moment, it's different movements are now fine that didn't used to be fine, but then over the last few days, when I now extend my arm, I've now got a pain kind of in here, but I think it's just the nerves that are kind of in my elbow. I know that I think 3 of them go through the elbow, and because of the tendon damage, and now I think the tendon's fine, but it's just the way that the arm is trying to organize itself. It probably doesn't help that I am not using it and losing muscle mass. Therefore, the muscles might have been organizing where the nerves are, and now that the muscles are kind of getting smaller, or atrophying, as it's called, it means maybe the nerve is now being pushed into a different place where it wasn't before. And yeah, it would have been in probably the same place since I was 13, because I've always exercised. So this is really the first or the longest time in my life that I've stopped doing any kind of resistance training. So yeah, I'll see if that rights itself. But the good thing is I can still lift things, and the original injury isn't the injury anymore. But it might be the case of going to a physio and getting them now just to help me manipulate my arm to get the nerves back to where they should be, because I think the fact that it's not painful when I'm lifting things, it's not a muscular thing, it's not a tendon thing, it's just a nerves thing that occasionally gets pinched. So anyway, that is that. We will continue with the live stream, of course, and the donations. Paul donated $2 as well, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message is what Orlando said, and let's have fun tonight. So thank you for that. And Cherokee Mammy of 4 has donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is just wondering if you got my Instagram message, so thank you for that. Now, Instagram is, as you'll probably know if you follow me over there, it's one of those sites I don't spend a lot of time on. I do jump on there every now and again, but it tends to be just something that I do once in a blue moon. If I go to an event or have a picture, then I might upload it over there. Or I did an upload for the interview recently with Morris, and just did a post on there because Morris is on Instagram and uses it quite a lot, so it's something that he could kind of link to or do a story with. I don't even really know how it all works, because when I have people who either I've interviewed or follow me on Instagram and they do a post about one of my videos on their Instagram page or profile, and it shows up on mine but as a message or something, and then it says, I don't know, add to story. I don't really know much about Instagram other than looking at pictures. I can kind of upload a picture there every now and again, but I don't really get into the messages. So yeah, that's kind of a step further on, or a step too far, because I know that I have a really long list of message requests, but this is something that I can't keep on top of, because as you can imagine, I get a lot of message requests on there, so I can't kind of get through all of those. And Twitter is another one that's just too much for me to deal with on there. I mean, I am kind of fully booked, but just fully engaged throughout the whole day, just with YouTube comments and emails and messages that come through my website, messages that come through YouTube, in the comment section with requests. Also, there's an email address for inquiries or business inquiries that I have here on YouTube, and I mean, some people do use that for not business inquiries and ask me to look at this artist, that artist, but I do say on there for business inquiries only. But this is the thing that, when there aren't a lot of people watching, they just send emails and messages through any site or any email that they can get a hold of. And Instagram's one of those that I don't really get through the messages on. So unfortunately, I wouldn't know what that message is, but maybe I can try and find it in the list if I can figure out where to go for that. But thank you for that donation. And we had some donations over on PayPal as well. So let me just get quickly through those. And I think it was Michael that donated £5, and it was. So thank you for that, Michael. And we just have, this is actually a receipt from Liz for buying my album. So thank you for that, Liz. And Tammy donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Tammy. And that was a little bit earlier on tonight. So as I said, you guys don't have to donate, but I mean, they are much appreciated, the donations, and do make a huge difference. I mean, I always say about the patrons of mine being the foundation of everything that I do, and they really are. So huge thank you to you guys, but also the donations that come through during the live streams obviously allow me kind of to do even more. So thank you guys for that and all of your support and just tuning into the videos, subscribing, and hitting 300,000 subscribers is just insane, but yeah, amazing. And I think we're over 302,000 now is maybe what we did last time. So yeah, we will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up with it all. So we've already gone 11:30 here. I'll tell you what, let's throw in a riff of the week now, maybe. I'll tell you what, I'll throw this out to the live chat room. So what we need is a number between 1 and 100, and then I'll pick out the riff. And it's just reminded me, what I'll do is jump over to my inbox to find the riff of the week, updated riff sheet, and let's have a look. Okay, right, I have that in front of me now. And I don't know, actually, let me get rid of that, because this is something that happens. I mean, it hasn't happened in this case, but sometimes when people write riff, it gets corrected to rift. Rift, I think, is a VR headset, if I remember correctly. It's something like that. I don't have a Rift, but I do have 100 riffs for you guys to choose between. Okay, and we're getting numbers coming through now in the live chat room. So let me get these up on screen. What do we have? Right, let's try. What about number 55? That is Blind Snipers. We've already had that one. So let's have a look through any more and scroll down. Okay. Oh, it might be the case that it takes a little bit of time to continue. Okay, Shirley says 89. And let me scroll down, see if we've had number 89. We haven't had number 89. So where did I just read that from? I know that somebody requested number 89, and I'm going to try and find it. But this is the thing, because it updates it, it means I get a whole chunk of comments that come through. But we will do number 89. So I will type in riff of the week, 89, and click on that. Click on this. Now it might be the case that we get an advert, which I'll have to mute. And there it is. There is indeed an advert, and I'm not sure whether it is one of those adverts. And this is an advert that I see quite a lot on YouTube about guys that are kind of sitting at their mixing desk, and they say, If you don't know how to make chords, don't worry. We've got the MIDI chord pack. And I think I've mentioned this on the live streams before. It's literally just clicking on a box, and they import it into a Logic Pro 10 or whatever DAW they're using, digital audio workstation. And then they listen to the chords and decide whether they like them or not, because they're dragging in a chord progression. And then if they like it, this is now their song. So it always interests me, because as a musician myself, when you're writing a song, you have an idea in your head as to a melody or a riff or a chord progression that you're thinking of, and then you play it and you go, oh yeah, this is what I'm after, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm creating. But when you drag in a chord progression that you haven't made yourself, you're reacting to somebody else's creativity, and then listening to it, think, oh wow, I really like that, this is now my song. So it's a little bit weird. Obviously, loads of people are buying these MIDI chord packs because they don't know about chords and they don't know about music, but they want to release music. But I just find it interesting that if you said to somebody, oh, I love your song, and they'll say, oh, thank you. I say, what are the chords? And they'll say, oh, I don't know. You say, well, why don't you just quickly play me the song? You say, oh, I can't play it. I just dragged it into my screen. I listened to it and I liked it. So that now constitutes creating a song. and kind of just putting a drum beat to it. I think mostly what it is dragging in the instrumentation that give you your chords, give you your lead lines, can even give you the vocals, lead vocals, harmonies, but that's not being created. What's being created is the beat. And with the this is the other thing, that with the chord packs, when you drag it in, it automatically will get calibrated to the beats per minute that you've got, your metronome part of your project. So it means the drums are automatic as well. You can just drag the drums and quantize them, and then it'll fit. So yeah, it's just really weird. I see a lot of adverts for these MIDI chord packs, but it's just a really, I don't know, it's an interesting thing for me as a musician. It's hard for me to understand people having songs that they've written that they don't know what the chords are or how to play them themselves. They just like the sound of what they heard when they dragged it into the project. So anyway, that was just the advert that showed up on this particular video. But let's get into the riff of the week. And first of all, I don't think I'm going to be able to hear this because sometimes it goes quiet and sometimes it doesn't, but we will see. Let me get this on screen so you guys can see what it is, and let me unmute it, and we're going to have a listen to this. All I need really is the name of the song that this riff is from, and you can put that in the live chat room. You don't win anything, it's just to see who gets it first. And you can name the artist as well if you want to. This is if I can remember what it is when I hear it, or if I can't hear it, I'm going to have to look at my hands and try and figure it out for myself in silence. So let's have a listen and see what it is. And there we have it. So let me get that off the screen, and I'm going to be looking into the live chat room to see who has got this one. Actually waiting for it to refresh on my screen over here, but I'm going to scroll up in the live chat room to see who got it first. And I tell you what, I'm still connected in the live chat room, so let me just scroll down here, pick out some of these. Rainbow is always in there, but right, let me have a look down here. Where did we start? Scroll up. Okay, Billy said Rainbow's Whole Lot of Love, so thank you for that. Rory said better be an oldie. Let's go. Proto said Too Fast for Love, and I think Fred Zeppelin got it first, or at least got it on my software first, because Fred said, he said Motley Crue, but I think he did say Kickstart My Heart a little bit lower down than that. So yeah, thank you guys for, I'm gonna give it to Fred. I think Proto said girls, girls, girls. There we go. Yeah, Fred said Kickstart My Heart, and that was the first one, I do believe. So congratulations to you. And Fred on my list was the first one to get it. Ginny said Whole Lot of Love. So not quite. Marla says you are going way too fast. So I don't know if that's me now during the live stream, the comments going through the live chat room, or the tempo of playing the riff. But Orlando said Kickstart My Heart. Corey said got no clue. Ginny said Whole Lot of Love again. Whole Lot of Love. A few people saying Whole Lot of Love here. So I mean, Whole Lot of Love I think is different enough, but obviously it's hitting a particular chord, no pun intended, with some people. Mimi321 said Whole Lot of Love, but PN112 said Kickstart, and Liz said Kickstart Motley Crue. So yes, congratulations to those of you that did get it. It's interesting when another song comes up and people think that it's something that it's not, and then that just might be my playing. So anyway, that was the riff of the week for tonight. And Orlando has donated $5. I can see you going through the live chat room saying, thank you for that, saying, I have told people you lose weight when you eat. You don't lose weight when you don't eat. The body holds onto fat as a defense mechanism. So thank you for that, Orlando. It's something that is, I think the people that are into exercise and work out, and I know that Orlando is one of those people, when you do it at a relatively, I know it's kind of a recreational thing, but there are some people that, you know, exercise and don't really stick to a program, for example, and they might just do it kind of every once in a while. But people that follow programs and say, for example, do resistance training where every week you're just upping the amount you're lifting, and maybe you're either calorie counting or counting protein, the amount of grams of protein that you take in every day. And when I work out, I was, and I will be in the future, hopefully, when I get back to it, I'm one of those that counts my protein intake every day to make sure that I'm taking in enough for my muscles to be able to recover and strengthen and grow, because that's one thing that your muscles won't do unless you're having enough protein. So I think when you're exercising at that kind of level and you're getting an appreciation of how many calories you take in a day, how much protein you eat a day, then you start to figure it out, and then you realize that, you have to keep burning calories. It increases your metabolism, which means that you can eat more calories, and as long as you're doing the same exercise, you're always keeping that equation balanced. And the more muscle you're putting on, it means now you've got a calorie deficit, which, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It means that your body needs more calories now because you've started to make it stronger. You've made your muscles a little bit bigger. And the bigger you make your muscles, the more of a calorie deficit you will have. So you'll have to keep on eating more and more and more to feed your body, to keep it at that size. And that's why guys that have a lot of muscle mass eat thousands of calories a day, because they are eating just to maintain. So when you're looking at guys that compete in bodybuilding, for example, especially the huge guys, you know, they're eating like maybe 2 or 3 chickens. I mean, literally a chicken, 2 or 3 chickens a day. You know, just a tub of chicken, you know, for breakfast, and then a tub of chicken for lunch. And this is to get in that lean protein, but also the calories, that they'll be eating just a ridiculous amount of calories. Because this is the thing about protein, is that lean protein isn't the most calorific food in the world. So they'll be having, you know, meal replacement shakes, all that kind of stuff, just to be able to hit that amount of calories that the body needs just to maintain itself. So it is really difficult to try and explain it to people, but once they start following a plan, and being a past personal trainer myself, I remember I once got one guy to lose either 3 or 4 stone, and it was just literally not worrying too much about diet, even though he was being strict, but we were doing a program. So now his normal diet that he was putting on weight with was now not calorific enough to keep up with the amount of exercise and the resistance training that he was doing. And I used to get up at like 5. He was one of my first clients. So I'd get up at 5 in the morning, have breakfast, drive to Henley-on-Thames, which is where I used to train people. And like 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, we'd be going for a run. So I'd be there doing a half an hour run in the morning. And again, this is just my job. So at the time I was playing football semi-professionally and training. So I was quite fit anyway, but we were now doing that a couple of times a week without fail, and then resistance training as well. So the weight did start to fall off him in a safe way, but people started to notice that, wow, this guy looks totally different. You know, over the course of 2 or 3 months, he totally changed how he looked, because now he had a body where he'd lost 3 or 4 stone in weight, but he was now toning as well. So his body was totally transforming. But that's it. You know, it's amazing to me actually that you can spend years and years and years and years putting on weight, but then if you apply yourself for kind of 3 or 4 months, you can make serious changes to your body. So you can undo years of overeating just by spending 3 or 4 months just being dedicated. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. Right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video because that vote has been close all night, and it's going to remain close at the point at which I'm going to end the poll, which is now. It looks like it might be Gimme All Your Lovin', but I will just wait for the confirmation to see. Oh, and Pam K36 said £14 in a stone. Just looked it up. Yeah, this is something that we talk about here in the UK as weight being stone and pounds. In other countries, it's kilos. Yeah, and or some. Yeah, people just talk in pounds. I think, in the USA, people say, oh, I'm 150 pounds or I'm 160 pounds. Whereas we say stone. Like, for example, 12 stone, 14 stone. Like, if you're talking about 1 stone, that's 14 pounds. So when I talk about 2 stone, that's 28 pounds. And like I said, this guy lost 3 or 4 stone. So yeah, I'm not going to test my maths too much, but it is a significant amount of weight just in 3 or 4 months that you can reduce by, just by putting that, deficit on your body. That even if you're eating too much, if you start exercising, you can bring the amount of calories you're burning off to the same point, and because you're exercising, you will be toning muscle, it will be adapting, so then you'll start to get that deficit. So this is why people start to exercise, and commonly they might do it for, 2 or 3 weeks and then give up. And that's usually the point at which they've now started to balance that equation. And if they were to continue exercising week on week, they're going to make that deficit more extreme. So then they will start losing more and more and more weight. So yeah, just sticking with it is the most important thing. And what I tend to do is train for 8 weeks and then have a week off and then do another 8 weeks. And I think that's more known as training in blocks. But that's something that I do mostly for resistance training. But if I am training properly, I will go out for a run and make sure that I am kind of burning carbohydrates and getting my fat percentage down. Not that I'm too bothered about my fat percentage. It's already kind of naturally quite low. But anyway, Rory has donated $5. Thank you for that, Rory. The message is, per the Rory Blake Pharmacist YouTube channel, not eating starves / kills good bacteria. Bad bacteria then eat your protein and that causes aging. So thank you for that. And thank you for that, Ro. And that's another thing about exercising and the body aging. I've said this before about people that keep themselves in good shape. They tend to either look younger or their bodies are literally just aging at a slower tempo because it's all been kept under control, and every part of your body is working at its most efficient rate. And this is why I think really low fat percentages I'm not really into. The lowest that I've got to, I think, was 5 or 6% at university, but that was, for me, that was really low because I'm naturally lean, but then I was training and I was playing like 2 football matches a week as well as training, having 2 football training sessions, and I was doing resistance training 3 times a week on top of that. So it means that some days I was resistance training and then doing football training, which means that I'm doing weights and then doing like an hour and a half, 2 hours of cardio. So it meant that my fat percentage just went down to 5 or 6%. But I think that's probably a little bit too low for me. So I think my body works most efficiently at probably about 10%, somewhere around there, maybe 12%. I'm not really strict about, like I said, I'm naturally quite lean anyway, so I don't have to worry about getting my fat percentage really low. But I think there's definitely an optimum where your body needs that particular level of fat to just work at its most efficient rate. And something that I haven't had to worry about. But talking about, kind of starving yourself and all that kind of stuff, generally it's not a good idea. I'm all about losing weight, but healthily. You don't want to just suddenly stop eating unless you're doing some kind of extreme detox or something for other medical conditions that you might have. But this is it. That when you starve yourself, your body literally starts eating itself. If you do starve yourself for long enough, because your body actually sees your muscles as calories when they're aren't any calories going in, it has to eat itself to survive. So yeah, sounds extreme, but that is it. Anyway, thank you for that. Orlando donated $2 again, and the message is, did you sport your rock locks while playing? And there's a football there. So, not in... I mean, I gave up football when I was 21 or maybe 20, something like that. So, I was playing at quite a good level, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as music. My hair came along in probably... I started growing it longer when I was 23, I think, something like that. And as for playing football, I did play recreationally, and if ever I did play, then yeah, I would just wear... I'd tie my hair back and wear like a headband to keep it out of my eyes, because when it is a little bit longer, it gets in my eyes anyway, let alone actually running around and heading a football and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I have to kind of try and tie it back and get it out of my face. So yes, recreationally, I say recreationally, I was part of a league on Sundays where I actually won the player of the season, and that was... I mean, it is stupid because I wasn't taking it seriously at all, because obviously I'm into music, but I have played at quite a high level. So when I play recreationally, luckily, yeah, I'm all right. I can still play relatively well. So yeah, I won the player of the season in that particular league, and I won something else. I can't remember what the other thing was, but it's at home somewhere on one of my shelves. The different awards that just have like the guy kicking the football on it. I don't know what it was, because I was playing in defence at that point, but I do have like I used to play up front, striker, but then when I started doing music more, I wasn't really into the scoring side of things. I was just very good at defending because I was quite quick. So yeah, I started playing in defence. But yeah, I did have the locks at that point, but it was an official league, but I wasn't taking it seriously, so I still see that as recreational playing. So yeah, maybe I'll play again in the future at some point, who knows. But thank you for that. Rich has donated $50, so thank you for that, Rich. And the message is, hi Phil, guitar work, Eddie Van Halen, Eruption, Eddie Van Halen, Hot for Teacher, Eric Johnson, Intro to Cliffs of Dover, Michael Hedges, Aerial Boundaries, The Cure, Say Pictures of You. I won't ask a favourite, but did any have influence on you sonically? Thanks. So thank you for that, Rich. Right. I mean, there's a lot in there. I've said before about just Eddie Van Halen being an influence on me, but that just pretty much goes for every guitarist ever who's into kind of rock or hard rock in the 80s. And yeah, Van Halen as a band were no exception, especially considering my dad had the Van Halen album on tape, and I just pretty much wore that tape out. So yeah, in terms of playing style, I'm very much into Eddie Van Halen and kind of trying to figure out what he was doing. I'd say Eric Johnson wasn't really a guitarist that I got into, because I got into more kind of hard rock and 80s and all that kind of stuff, bands like Winger and Guns N' Roses, and I kind of fell down that rabbit hole. So Michael Hedges as well, not one of those that I got into, because I was more of an electric player and wasn't really into acoustic players. I very much went down the blues route of Gary Moore and Jimi Hendrix. Of course, that's the first guitarist that I listened to. So yeah, I went along those blues, rock, hard rock kind of lines. So yeah, The Cure as well. Yeah, wasn't a band that I was particularly into. But if I had to say a favourite out of those, then it would have to be Eddie Van Halen, or Van Halen as a band, just because the overall sound was so different, I think, to anything at the time, but then also anything since, because of the lead vocals as well, David Lee Roth with that just crazy scream, high-pitched scream that he did, just throwing that in all over the place. So yeah, it's just a totally different sound when you pair that with the guitar. It was very much like the lead vocals were almost like the guitar, the way that they'd do a chord and response. So yeah, I'd have to choose Van Halen as a band out of those, but thank you for that. And Orlando donated $2 and said, rest in peace, Andy Rock of the Smiths and Tina Turner. So thank you for that. And yeah, I think we had that in the last live stream as well. It tends to be the case now, especially this year. There have been a lot of very popular and successful artists that have sadly moved on. And certainly Andy and Tina. Tina was definitely one of those voices of my youth, and yeah, I'll jump into that video tomorrow, so look out for that one. I know it has been requested a lot. I thought that tomorrow night would probably be the best time to approach that one, but thank you, Orlando, for that. And we're going to be jumping into, I think it was Gimme All Your Lovin' that won. I got a little bit sidetracked, but we'll jump into Gimme All Your Lovin', my version of it, the ZZ Top classic. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! Hello, Phil here. Thank you so much for watching my cover of ZZ Top's classic, Gimme All Your Lovin'. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The names that you can see going up the screen here are the names of my patrons, who I'd like to say a massive thank you to for their support and for making videos like this possible in the first place, and also making my analysis videos possible as well. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and if I don't see you at the next analysis video, I'll see you guys at the next cover video. Rock! And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for that as tonight's cover video. Right, we are at, I think, 304 likes, it looks like on the screen. So if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. We're looking for, 20 more people in the live chat room in order to have a fill jam at the end of the live stream. And we are getting quite close to the end of the live stream as I speak. So I missed out a donation a little bit earlier on. It was Cherokee Mammy of 4 who donated $2 and said, would you check out 15th Bend, started guitar in 2020. So thank you for that. And that just came in after the question about the Instagram message. So yes, I will check out 15th Bend. So what else do we have requested over on Patreon? I think we have, fill tunes pretty much always get requested over there, but we might either have a fill tune or a fill jam, depending on how many likes we get. We're now looking for, I think it just spiked up. Is that 8 now we're looking for? 317 I can see on the screen. What I have got, a bit of breaking news, I did buy a wah-wah pedal, and unfortunately it was, it had really bad interference with it. So it meant that I had to send that back, unfortunately. And then I got, it's totally unrelated, I mentioned this over on Patreon, I got an HDMI lead, actually an extension lead, and that didn't work either. So yeah, I've been going through a bit of a bad spell of ordering things and them turning up and not working. But what I do have on the floor is my Crybaby wah-wah pedal. So if we do the fill jam, then I will use the Crybaby wah-wah pedal that I've got on the floor, because it is plugged in, and it is plugged into the amp that I am going to use or will be using. To turn it on and make sure that it is all still working. And I'm not even sure if my guitar's in tune or not, but we will find out if we get 6 more likes. So yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, would be much appreciated. Picture corner, that is something, thank you for that. Who just said that over in the live chat room? Somebody, I saw it, but now it's moved, so I don't know where that's gone, but I did see it. Right, picture corner, let's jump into this. And actually I know that I'm gonna need to get over onto Facebook to see the Zoom call. But anyway, let's jump into picture corner, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's have a look at the first picture for tonight is Dina, who I was reliably informed is waiting for the dentist, and this is something that I've had recently. I've had a couple of dentist visits, not particularly successfully, because the first time, actually I've had 3. The first time was kind of okay, but not that okay. The second time was then booked, and then I turned up, waited half an hour, and then they'd messed it up, so my appointment wasn't actually an appointment, even though it was an appointment. And then the third time, the last time that I've been through, I had a little hole put in my teeth, between my 2 front teeth, which is a bit annoying. So anyway, that's Dina waiting for the dentist with the Wings of Pegasus hoodie on. So thank you for sending that one in, Dina. And here we have, wow, we are full screen with this. Let me see if, I'm just making sure that that displays okay, because actually I think I'll go through from left to right the names that we have here on my screen. Actually I can't see the full names, but I'm gonna have to use my memory. So we've got Carl, and then we've got Sandy. I'm going from left to right here. So we've got Carl, Sandy, Vince, Billy, and then Joe and Bob as well. On my list it says Ob, but I know that's Bob. And Michael. Oh, hang on, having a look at the picture, is it Joe that's been lost behind? Let me see if I can get rid of that. I think it's Joe that got lost behind the likes goal and the live likes. So anyway, Joe, Bob, and Michael, and then Barbara, Dawn, Anna, Kevin, Rebecca, Paula, and Paul, I believe, right at the bottom there. So thank you for uploading that picture. This is the Zoom call. I did say that these occasionally happen over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group page over on Facebook, so you can join in with those if you want to. But there are the I don't know, the what would you call participants? I'm not sure that's exactly the right word, but anyway, the people taking part of in or a part of the Zoom call, there you go, over on the Facebook page. So anyway, thank you, Laura, for linking me to that particular picture, and that is Picture Corner for tonight. So let me remove that and remove that. We should be back to me. And let's see where we are with the likes goal at 331. We have hit the goal for tonight, which is great. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. And if you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help this live stream to get out there a bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole. Now, what I should have done, if I was planning things a little bit better, remembered to make the seat higher. And let me get the wah-wah pedal actually accessible. What I should have done while showing Picture Corner was turn on the amp and sort out everything so that it's going to work. And that's like, oh, that's on. Okay, I think this is because I got the wah-wah pedal on. It's going to sound a little bit. Let me see what's going on. So hopefully you guys can hear that, and I think I'm going to leave it on because in order to turn on and off the wah-wah pedal, as you'll know if you've got a crybaby wah-wah pedal, you have to use all your weight to click it on and click it off, but I'm sitting down so I haven't got any weight to use and I don't have a lot of weight anyway, full stop. But anyway, let's get over to this one. It's number 10 that we're looking for, and it's not the 5-minute one that was last time, so it's got to be this one that's a little bit longer. And okay, this is a bit of a longer one. It's 11:55, I think. Let me click on that. Okay, right, you're gonna have to let me know as to what the levels are like. Right, let me press play on this. Okay, I can't hear anything, which is not very good. Oh, okay, here we go. Cool, right, I'm going to stop that and just mention that this is a filthy classic rock guitar backing track jam in A minor, and this is from Elevated Jam Tracks, which we have purchased from before and used on the live streams. Elevated Jam Tracks. So if you guys want to play along with this one, filthy classic rock guitar backing track jam in A minor. Bit of a mouthful, but we'll get into it. As for the levels, not too sure what's going to be happening here. This has kind of got a bit of a hard rock kind of edge to it. So if you can, let me know if you can hear it. That would be good. This is, I think, almost like a bit 80s. It's not like a bit 80s. It's kind of got a bit of a heavier hard rock vibe to it. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, yeah, this is a long one. We're, I think, just about halfway through. So we'll keep going through. Checked whether you can hear me or not. Okay, Debbie says sounds awesome. So good. So I'm hoping that's not just the backing track. You can hear what I'm playing, but we'll see. Take a little bit off it. Okay, how long do we have left? Oh, maybe like a minute or 2 minutes, something like that. Oh, this is going to be the dude. Oh, he's demonstrating a pedal, I think. Oh, we're just going to listen to this. I'm listening to it, so you will listen to it as well. And that's going to be the end of that particular backing track with a cool little bit of lead by the dude at the end. So, anyway, thank you guys. Oh, I'm going to turn this off because I think it's buzzing a little bit too loudly. But thank you guys for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up so that we had a fill jam at the end. It's always cool to have a little bit of a kind of heavier rock track, maybe. Would have been better with the gem, but the Strat was plugged in, so we just had to deal with it. And we had the wah-wah, which was good as well. I wonder if this is... I've turned it onto a clean. Yeah, that would not have been a good tone for this particular backing track. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And quickly, David has donated $2. So thank you for that, David. That is a straight up donation in the super chat window. But I'm going to be here with that video tomorrow night, so make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell to get notified for all of the videos and the live streams, because I will be live streaming on Tuesday night as well. So thank you for joining me. Tortora Porco's donated $6.99 saying awesome jam, so thank you for that and the kind words. The wah-wah pedal works as well, which is good. It's just, yeah, a case that I kind of did leave it alone for a while, rather than kind of using it all the time, but I, as I said, don't have to wait to turn it off, so it was just on for the whole time. Right, so I'm going to be calling things to a close, and as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in. And I'll catch you guys at tomorrow night's video, and hopefully you're available on Tuesday night, because I'll be here with another live stream at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!